It has been a long and difficult journey, but now our destiny has been laid before us. It is time, Sorcerer. You and me, one final battle.
What's going on, everyone? It's the Niskel. Welcome back to Spyro, Year of the Dragon. It's final boss time. So, going by the simple pattern, I think Agent 9 is going to be helping out with us. Maybe he could just shoot the Sorceress.
Time to kick some Sorceress butt.
Well, if Agent 9's ready for this, then I'm ready for this. All right, the Sorceress. She has a lot of attacks. I am going to say it up front. She is actually a pretty hard boss. If you're too far away for too long, she will actually come up and rush you. She is not afraid of you, little silly purple dragon. But the magic that she uses, you'll see those 3 electrical blasts, and sometimes she'll shoot the equivalent of your fire blast at you. These are really easy to avoid. Like, the first phase is not hard at all. Mainly, the thing that makes it hard is the fact that you actually have to aim with a cannon as she's constantly moving. She will also shoot fire blasts to destroy the cannons. It will immediately break if she ends up hitting the cannons with a fire blast. So she'll run around for a little bit, let you get some shots on her, but then as soon as she shoots that, you kind of want to get out of there really quickly. Agent 9 is going to be shooting down all the different cannons, and eventually we'll be... Oh, wow. Eventually we'll be getting into a few different weapons, but for this first phase only, you have to deal with the cannons. Thankfully, they don't show up for the entire fight. As soon as you get the Sorceress down, I think 1/3 of her health, we'll switch to different weapons, and she'll also change up her attacks. So it's essentially a 3-phase fight, but nothing changes except for moves and firepower that you have to use to fight her. It is kind of nice, but I think I would have liked it more if Spyro actually had something to use that didn't involve, like, extra artillery. Like, Spyro should be able to do it himself. But apparently not. This phase I never liked, even as a kid, just because the cannons are stationary. You can't take it with you. Like, with some of the other boss fights, you were able to take your firepower with you. And I like that more because I'm more of a hands-on player. And hello, new attack! I guess we're getting a bit far. All the cannons that you see up there, at the top there, they will no longer be used. They will just stay up there and float. And now we get to probably one of my favorite weapons to use against the Sorceress. The, I don't know what you would call this, like the hoverboard with a cannon strapped on the front of it. It's a really weird thing to use against the Sorceress, but I don't know, it works. It works. I guess while we're going through this, a couple fun things about the Sorceress's Lair. In the PAL Non-Greatest Hits version, it shares the theme with Spike's Arena. It got its own in the Greatest Hits version. So again, even more music trivia. It seems like they just couldn't decide on what themes to use, so they just decided, you know what? Every theme that borrowed a theme, we're going to give it a brand new theme. Also, there is an inaccessible portal on the outside of the arena. It can't be used. It's essentially just painted on wherever it is. You're going to have to hack the game to get out there. But yeah, it's just there. This also shares kind of an Easter egg with another level we'll be getting into a bit later. But here is the 3rd phase, quote unquote. She'll be shooting fire blasts all the time for this. But you have the amazing ability to fly everywhere now. And you also notice the sheeps that are on top of the arena. If you ever need some health, you can blast them down. This is the most fun phase by far. Because 1, you can dodge really well, and 2, it's a lot of fun to fly around and shoot the Sorceress. And look at that, she is down. Long live the Sorceress. George, you got some good flying moves, man. I always like how the dragons that you save from the bosses always have a little special quirk to them, and that one's probably my favorite. But hey, look at that! We defeated the boss? Or did we? I love how it cuts to black on that. It's like, dun dun dun!
Spyro, You've just defeated the Sorceress, rescued the dragon eggs, and restored freedom to the lost dragon worlds. What do you plan to do next? Perhaps a nice vacation in Dragon Shores?
You're a real comedian sometimes, Bentley. I still have to find the rest of the dragon eggs. Plus, Hunter seems to have disappeared again, so I should go make sure he's not in more trouble. You haven't seen him, have you?
Huh? Me? Oh, no. If I do happen to encounter him, however, I will most certainly inform you immediately.
It's a funny thing, Spyro. I adjusted Avalar's portals to take me to the Dragon Worlds, but somehow I ended up here. Maybe my coordinate tables are out of date.
By 1,000 years.
That would explain why the book was so cheap.
So, now that you're done saving the world again, are you gonna visit me in Avalar?
Sure, Alora, but I still have to find the rest of the eggs and, well, Hunter's disappeared again.
Did you say Hunter? Well, hey, I can help. I just saw him sneak off with...
Agent 9, isn't that a Rhinoc over in those bushes?
Rhinoc! Ooh, let me at him. You want a piece of me, Rhinoc boy? Eat laser, punk! Come on now, no fair hiding.
I'm sure Hunter is in good hands. I'm sure he will turn up soon.
Promise you'll come visit Avalar soon, okay?
Aw, that's nice. Even more throwbacks to the second game in the series. And oddly, not a lot of throwbacks to the first one.
Now, how many times have I told you not to tease that moose?
It was Billy's idea. Yeah.
Is that true, Billy? Hold that thought, Billy. Spyro, great to see ya.
Hi, Sheila. I've been looking for Hunter all day. Have you seen him?
Sorry, Spyro. Hunter made me promise not to tell you where they went.
Faye?
You didn't hear anything from me.
Oh, no. Oh, no. It's a sad sight, Sparks. Another noble warrior falls victim to the plague of love. Just look away. Well, I guess we'll have to find the rest of the eggs by ourselves.
Come on, Spyro. Take a little break. Let's watch the show.
And so they lived happily ever after, while going through the fastest credit sequence you'll ever see.
Yeah, I decided to speed it up because nothing actually happens during this, and we'll be seeing the credits again. I want to say, in a technicality, we got all the eggs when we defeated the Sorceress. We only needed 148. Oh, wait. No, we didn't get the last one. There is one more thing we need to do. But we'll get there by the end of this. And then we'll be all finished. This project has gone by so quickly. At least I say that, and it's taken forever to get this far into the game. But that's okay. There's only a few things left that I have after the main story. We have the rest of this, and then we'll move on to the big bonus. Every single Spyro game has a big bonus round, essentially. And we still gotta find all those skill points. Awesome. Yeah. And maybe I can come up with something else. But for now, let's take a look at all the levels we've gone through, and the fact that it took 2 months more than it should have to get through all of them. All these wonderful people, some of their names have shown up as dragons. Or maybe they're all dragons, I don't know. A bunch of dragons worked on this game? Maybe. I do like that extra bit at the end saying it took a few long years to finish this one. We're glad you enjoyed it, or at least made it this far. Insomniac, you're always thinking of the player, and that's why I like you the most. Cool! The big boss is gone! Now what? Well, going with the simple patterns that these worlds have been following... I'm going the wrong way, excuse me. There is one more Sparks level. If you thought him getting an extra hit point was good, well, we still have to go finish up that level. But there's one other thing that has changed since we defeated the Sorceress. All the way over here, we have a fairy.
This portal has been sealed with the strongest magic I've ever seen. You'll need all the dragon eggs and all the gems from each world to break the seal.
There's your incentive to 100% the game, but take a look at that number. 15,000 gems and 149 eggs. We're missing 2 eggs and all of those gems that we don't have. This is going to be interesting, but for now...
Just before you kicked the sorceress's big, fat, ugly butt, she built a factory to make robotic bugs to fight Sparks. But I don't think they're any match for him.
See, this was back in a time when you were allowed to make fun of big, fat, ugly sorceresses. I don't know what I was going for there. I just know that the political correctness in this world has kind of ruined games. We're going to go turbo speed on this one, because if you've played one Sparks level, you have played them all. And please excuse all of my deaths. This is actually a difficult level. There are tons of bugs around here. This is the robot bug factory. And there's a lot of mean-spirited enemies here. So just keep track. If you're ever having trouble with the bugs, I do show off a couple, I guess, ways to tackle them. But don't listen to me because I die like 3 times in this one. There are tons of bugs here, so you're going to want to learn how to strafe and how to do it well. But I went through the manual one more time just to make sure I wasn't missing anything. This gives me something to talk about, and I noticed they have a section for the pause menu. So just in case you didn't know what the pause menu did, allow me to enlighten you.
Press the start button during gameplay to open the pause menu.
I died.
You may continue to return to your play. The Atlas. View your progress through the Forgotten Worlds. The options. Press the directional buttons up and down to select an option, and left and right to choose the setting. Select back and press the X button to close the screen. Or, if you're feeling daring, you can save your game, which is self-explanatory.
Or you could go to the general settings and figure out how to use your camera, the vibration, the horizontal, the vertical, and the back. And then sound, which is, again, self-explanatory. I just thought it was weird that there was a page specifically for the pause menu, and I died again. This boss, it looks hard until you figure out what you actually have to do. Attack the head and only aim for one. As soon as one half is gone, the other half will be really, really easy. It also helps if you don't look at its face. That's the one problem I had when I fought it the first time. As soon as it sees you, it will shoot. If it never sees your face, if you're never touching eyes with it, that sounded really weird, but if you never look in its face, you will never get hit. And thankfully, all the spectators around that arena didn't come in to help, because that would have made it way too hard, especially for kids back in the late 90s. Early 2000s.
That last egg must have had some extra magic, because it gave Sparks 2 new abilities. Now he can break open treasure chests, and using the Atlas, he can warp you to any level. Just select the level you want and press the square button.
If you're going with the route that I am, these last 2 power-ups are absolutely useless, because we're getting 100% in every level before we leave, so there is no point to these last 2. Honestly, I think the extra hit would have done wonders as a final power-up, but it does make sense why they give it to you here. That way, you can continue to collect up to 100%, and then you'll be all done. So, it makes sense, but the way I play, it's so useless to do, and... why, hello there.
Don't worry, Spyro. I won't be needing any more of your money. Now, don't look so surprised. I found one of the dragon eggs, and I'm going to sell it for a fortune back in Avalar. Uh-oh. Why are you looking at me like that? I've got to be going now. Toodles!
You're not going anywhere, Moneybags! Give me my money back!
You took more than half of it! Are you kidding? All the gems I've collected throughout all of these worlds, and you have taken more than half. That is 8,000 gems that we have given to Moneybags, so now it's time to just take it all back. He will always go in the exact same route, so take your time. Flame him, charge him, do whatever you want to Moneybags, just to get all your cash back. And do you know how satisfying this is? Going through 2 games having to deal with a bear that takes all of your money and basically attacking the money out of him. And it just flies straight to you. It's like, Spyro, we've missed you. It's like the cash in Conker's Bad Fur Day. It just comes back of its own free will if it likes its master. And man, does it feel good to get all of this money back. This is so cool. When I first did this as a kid, I thought this was the greatest idea I've ever seen in a video game.
Drat! Double drat! Drat, 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 drat! Oh, I never knew dragons were so fast. That's it, I give up. I'm retiring to Spooky Swamp to become a haiku poet.
And then he was never seen again because haiku.
Hey, we got Al. Oh, and you're a good flyer, too. Now we just need to find you an Edward. I think we already did. Moneybags, that's not Spooky Swamp. You went to Crystal Islands. So apparently he wants to be a magical haiku poet. One last look at the atlas. There's the last egg, the egg for sale. But that's everything. 100%. Which is total BS because we have 149 out of 148. That makes no sense to have 100%. We should have like 102%. But then again, I'm not a math major, so maybe it adds up. I don't know. Now that we have 15,000 gems, we also have 149 out of 148 eggs. The portal opens to the super bonus round, which we will tackle in the last episode of Spyro Year of the Dragon. I'll see you guys then.